Welcome back to All the Edge.
I'm
Without
screaming.
Prince, what are you doing? Right? Oh.
Prince, what are you doing? Prince?
Yeah, the idle animation is just weird. It's just him
You
looking
know
around
what?
frantically, nervously.
You know what? Yes, I would
It's like-
rather
it's like
have.
Crash
Yes.
Bandicoot in the first game.
You know what? Yes,
Was
I
it
would
looking at me?
rather have a video game where we play as the artist formerly known as Prince rather than this guy. That's saying something because I actually liked him in the first Prince of Persia trilogy, and I mean the first game of this trilogy.
Yeah. Again, it gets better in the Two Thrones. I did help the fact that the original creator came back for that game.
That reminds me. If I recall correctly, do later games ignore this game?
Nope.
Oh,
Trust me, Jova.
right.
And I died.
Oops.
What I needed to do is actually to climb down here. There we go. And then use the mantle bear arrow fling style. There we go.
I am the tallest of mountains. I am the roughest of waves.
I don't
darkest
know.
of
I would rather have infinite than the prince right
I know,
now.
I know,
Yeah,
I know. Too.
That's why
I'm
he's
just-
singing it.
That's why I'm singing it because this game is all about the edge. So why not
All right,
have
the
the
cool-
edgiest Sonic character well, okay, let me rephrase that. The supposedly edgiest character, even though his backstory completely ruined whatever edge he was supposed to have.
Here's the cool thing. Now you have to actually rotate the platform in order to make the water actually flow until to the statues. But when both of them are down, the door will open. That's a cool puzzle. It is a cool looking one.
Okay, because the color scheme is so riveting,
Stop screaming for crap.
So because the color scheme is so diverse and riveting, I find myself having to ask again: Are we currently in the past or the
Present. No, sorry, the past, Jova. The timeline where the Empress was still ruling.
Again, I mean, okay, there are technically some areas where it's easier
Basically,
to tell.
basically, Jova, it's easy. If there's the functioning technology, it's the past.
Mm-hmm.
There are some traps still working in the present, but that's very minimal. If this kind of technology works, it's the past.
So remind
There
me,
we
what
go.
purpose does the present section serve aside from the
To traverse between locations and use the portals to get into specific areas of the past that are locked.
This particular area reminds me quite a bit of one of the final areas in Uncharted Lost Legacy, except nowhere near as it doesn't look nearly as good.
Okay. So I guess in some regards, if we want to get through an area that's all blocked, we go to the present where it's ruined and we're able to go through.
Again, as I mentioned, Jova, think of it kind of like a Metroidvania, but a bit linear, more linear than a standard Metroidvania.
If I'm gonna give it some credit, I do like that feature you have of being able to change the face of in which specific side of the stairs you are as you're climbing it. That's kind of a.
I think also the first game had that.
Yeah, I don't usually see that in games. So yeah, cool. One point for that, I guess.
All right, here we go.
You only get one game. You only get one.
Congratulations, you did it.
So,
I know it's soft.
are we
Sorry,
seriously
go ahead.
having this long empty hallway with nothing happening?
That's the problem with this game in general.
Welcome to generic game design, Joe.
Not just that, Pedro. In the other games, the Sands of Time and the future ones that will come, go away, bird. There you go. There were stuff that distracted you, like the prince ever monologuing to himself or talking with the partner he had.
And there were more alternate routes as well.
Not just, well, technically, yeah, but my point is, the prince had something to distract him. Here, for a lot of time, you're just alone, and the prince says nothing. Occasionally, he says something in combat, like, "Oh, you're too weak for my blade," or something.
You know, it says something when I'm
Something
even.
edgy. But the point is, it's so bizarre how passing from, a setting that allows the prince, even in a state of complete isolation and menace, to talk to those around him or just talking to himself, to this setting where the prince barely even talk. Even in the cutscenes, when you think about it, he barely talks to Kailina. Like,
You know,
Oh.
it says something when I'm even more bored with these hallways than Final Fantasy 13's. I mean, yeah,
At
Final
least Final Fantasy 13 has some variety in colors, I guess.
Like,
Final
seriously,
Fantasy 13
seriously.
looks gorgeous at least.
Like, seriously, Final Fantasy 13 is like, that's like the staple example of, you know, bad hallways and whatnot. Yet, at least when we had the hallways in Final Fantasy 13, there was enough graphical stuff going on.
Yeah,
Heck, the
it's a
characters
brilliant
actually
art
did,
direction.
and the characters did have dialogue to talk about stuff here and there.
Eidolons aside.
Yeah. Seriously, what the fuck, Bahamut?
I'm just more annoyed.
Wasn't Nomura involved? Designers?
Actually, Nomura only did the character designs. He didn't
Yeah,
do.
that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Sorry.
And keep in mind, as the game progressed, and as the trilogy progressed, Nomura had less and less involvement.
To the point where Lightning Returns was literally just him
Yeah, basically-
drawing what was told to be drawn.
Correct
of
me if I'm
him.
wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Teo. But after 6, he never did monster design ever again.
He did monster design even with 7, I think.
Yeah. Pretty
I'm
sure
sure he
I'm
did that in the
gonna check.
credits.
I'm gonna check to be sure, but I don't remember.
Well,
I think-
I don't think I remember seeing that in the actual game's credits, but sure, by all means. Basically, here's what happened. He designed the characters in 13. In 13.2, he only designed faces. And in Lightning Returns, he only designed the new outfits for Snow and Lightning, and that's it.
Basically, by Lightning Returns, he was literally just drawing what was told of him to draw. Aside from the outfits that Pedro mentioned.
Yeah, there you go. Final Fantasy 7, character design, monster design, scenario concept, battle visual director. He also did the monster design also for 8, apparently.
Oh, okay then.
Ah,
And he wasn't involved in 9 at all.
No.
actually, no, yeah.
Well,
He-
9, there's kind of a reason for that. 9 was more of a throwback to the old, more classic days.
It was essentially a last array of the original Sakaguchi
Not-
team.
Not that Nomura. I mean, remember Nomura worked on 4, 5, and 6, so it's not like he doesn't know how the old Final Fantasy games works.
For 4, he actually was a debugger.
Yeah, he
that's
was a
sad.
debugger for 4.
And so he did pretty much a shitty job considering how faulty still the SNES version of 4 is.
Well, Taylor, let's look at it this way. Maybe that's exactly it. He figured out he was
it
better.
wasn't, yeah.
He was a better artist than the debugger, so he decided, you know what, better just stick
Alright.
to something different.
Personal headcanon. He was actually about to be fired after being failed at that job at 4. But people actually noticed that he was doing some sketches when these, coffee breaks during the laundry, and say, "Oh, why? You should actually start designing things." And there you go.
Remember, Taylor, from what we know, it seems like
How the hell did he get directing job for Kingdom Hearts?
I was about to get into that, Lips. Well, remember, Teo, judging from all the stuff we've heard from both him and Sakaguchi, it seems like he and Sakaguchi are pretty good friends. So my guess is Sakaguchi really liked Nomura, which is why he kept him around. That's probably another explanation that could work. As for your question, Wibs, that's because you know the story, right? The original idea for Kingdom Hearts was when an executive from Disney, an executive from Square, were riding on the same elevator, and by the time they got up from that elevator ride, they were already planning on basically getting the two companies to collaborate on a game.
I can just imagine how that story meeting went. Hey, want to make a game? Sure.
You know what? I
Nomura, as always, what happened was Nomura, when it comes to designing his first game, Nomura really wanted to create a game that was kind of like Mario 64, something that would be really kind of not so much a mascot platformer, more like a cartoony game that would be really appealing to a lot of people, basically. However, his executives apparently told him something that no, you can't compete with Mario 64. It's impossible. And then when Kingdom Hearts came about, he actually oh wait, Disney characters. Okay, that's maybe one way I can try to get that done. Yeah, so he volunteered to direct the first Kingdom Hearts.
Am I the only one who's still kind of sad that we never got to see that cool lion boy Sora be used as the protagonist?
I'm sad that we never got the actual chainsaw weapon.
Like,
That would be hardcore as fuck.
I'm
pretty sure Disney wouldn't allow that.
I'm gonna be quite
Yeah.
honest. The lion boy Sora thing, I feel works better
Well,
as
it got incorporated sword for the Pride Lands.
my deal is like, well, the
Yeah, that's
original
the idea,
design of
is it?
Sora, I feel, fits better as actually being an amalgamation of Square and Disney. Whereas the Sora we got, don't get me wrong, I like his.
It became something of an amalgamation.
Yeah. Whereas the Sora we got, and don't get me wrong, I like Sora's current design. It's just, he's definitely more square than Disney, to the point where he even showed up in World of
Well,
Final
the big
Fantasy.
shoes are definitely a thing from Disney.
Well, yeah, there's that, but other than that, is there... Well, okay, maybe the pants, but again, that's something you have to really
And
think
remember,
hard for.
well, to be fair, well, okay, no, that's not a good point. I was about to say that in the Timeless River is actually drawn in a style similar to the mangas of the 70s or 60s, so...
I know it's
Let's
off
deal
top.
Japan.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Pedro.
Wait,
Don't worry.
guys, there was a bout of light there. Were we about to go outside?
The only thing Jova that got introduced were invisible assassins enemies, and you have seen how I dispose of them. So yeah, go ahead, Pedro.
I know it's off topic, but I'm so bored. Guess what? Teo. Yesterday we finally, before we move on to season 3 of Spirit Riding Free, we finally did the commentary on the movie.
There was a tie-in movie to that. Oh no, the
the original
Oh
movie.
God! Oh,
God no, the original movie too.
Okay.
just pray to God the Spirit fan base doesn't come after Tia with
guess what?
torches
So
and
guess what?
pitchforks.
Basically, Teo, since Jova grew up with movies like Tarzan from Disney, Brother Bear, and also Spirit, which in all 3 of these movies do the whole pop singer singing lyrics about why what you're supposed to feel and why you're supposed to feel it. Since he grew up with those as a kid, I didn't mind those. But then when he saw the movie with us, he was like, "Oh my God, yeah, I never realized as a kid." And then I showed him that, that one sad song from Brother Bear, the one.
Yeah.
And
Phil Collins and shit.
we both started the video. 5 seconds into it, he was, "Oh my God, I hit it already."
It's like
I destroyed Jova's childhood.
it's like
Hell, if you thought Jova's reactions were bad, wait till you hear mine.
it's like
Yeah.
It's like, I was sort of reintroduced to those movies, go with Doug Walker's Disney December reviews of them, and at first I thought, wow, Doug really has it out for Phil Collins in these movies. And,
It's not so
I
much
thought
that,
maybe
it's-
he's
yeah.
overreacting, but now I definitely see where he's coming from. I mean, whether or not you like Phil Collins or Bryan Adams, Phil Collins is a better singer than Bryan Adams, but even
What about
Bryan...
Randy Newman?
Yeah, okay, Randy...
No, I'm gonna have to disagree with that. Randy Newman's song is probably, it's more so his voice, and the lyrics are. Okay, let me put it like this, Dale. His lyrics are bland, but at the very least, he doesn't flat out explain to you what you're supposed to feel and why.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, okay, the difference...
Unless it's James and the Giant Peach.
True.
Okay, see, the difference between Randy Newman and Phil Collins is like, whereas Randy Newman does kind of do those obvious kind of lyrics, the lyrics that are more centered around the entire theme of the movie as opposed to just being specifically for that scene.
Yeah.
Like, like the songs, You've Got a Friend in Me. In fact, now that I think about it, there aren't that many lyrical tunes either. I mean, that's a thing also. While Randy Newman may do music, and he can also do some composing here and there, often when he's hired as, the composer or singer for a movie, it's not like his songs take up, most of the songs in a movie here and there.
It's like I said before, he's a much better score composer than a songwriter.
Whereas with, Phil Collins and Bryan Adams, it's like, I don't know if that's their motifs even outside their careers or what they were directed to, though I'm going to give the director the benefit of the doubt and just say that, they didn't really interfere that much, that this is their thought process. They literally sing what's going on. Like, there's literally a scene in Tarzan specifically for talking about how people can be sad when loved ones are killed, or how you'll be in my heart, or...
No words describe a mother's tears. That's the actual verse.
I think the one that's the most unsubtle, and the sad thing is that as songs on their own, I actually do like the songs. They have catchy lyrics and stuff, but when attached to the
way they're
movie,
used.
Yeah, like the song "I Want to Know About the Strangers Like Me." Like, it literally plays as he's looking at these people who walk and talk like him.
Because kids are stupid and they can't put one and one together.
I mean, and it's not just that, it's annoying. It's like, by extension, you're assuming that most of your target audience are stupid, which is really a shame. I mean, it goes to show that Disney themselves pretty much abandoned that kind of songwriting.
Well, yeah, they went back to the traditional musical stuff.
Although they have the decency to not use it all the time.
Basically, my consensus was that
now it's more like they're trying to please both countries. Like they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
2016, for example, they have Zootopia, which is a movie that I think anyone can enjoy. But for the Disney purists who like the old style, they have Moana. So there you go.
I would say that even Moana zigzags it with having one time musical number, but then having a scene with Maui saying, "If you're gonna start singing, I'm gonna vomit."
yeah.
Well, that was already in Tangled too. They also did that joke in Tangled. Like,
okay.
Sorry guys, I don't sing. And then everybody points the swords at him to force him to sing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where the image comes from, or like having an opinion in current year.
No, if there was one thing Tangled, both the movie and show have, is a fantastic sense of humor. Like,
Yeah. Anyway, my main thing is like, well, you know, I'm okay with musicals. In fact, you know, stuff like Sweeney Todd and Pirates of Penzance, which are pretty much 95% singing, those work because, well, most of it is singing, but the characters are pretty much, it's like a script but done in song. And you know the fact that the fact that Sweeney Todd and Pirates of Penzance have such awesome tunes, like talking about killing a traitor. Like literally in Sweeney Todd, there's a song talking about baking people into pies, and it's done in a happy tone.
yeah.
And in Pirates of Penzance, there's literally a song where the pirates are talking about sneaking with cat-like tread incredibly quietly while yelling to the most loudest music in the dang operetta.
It's one of those things where Disney's trying to, at the same time, please their core fan base that actually likes the musicals, while at the same time making them sure the movies.
Phantom.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Oh wait, is Teo cutting out or is
sorry.
it just me?
No,
Go ahead.
he was talking about the Phantom.
Okay, sorry. I mean, yeah, he is. Well, I was gonna address this to him anyway, so I'll wait. No, I was gonna tell it to you, Teo, so you might as well just do it.
All right.
Oh, you're fine now?
Did I?
All right. What I was gonna say was, here's an example. Like one of my favorite lines in the pilot. Oh, wait, what? Oh, whatever. I was trying to say one of my favorite lines in the pilot movie is basically because of shit happening, Rapunzel has grown her hair back, and they're trying to stay hidden and stuff. Basically, she tries to keep it hidden from Eugene, but Eugene eventually finds out. He's like, "Look, I know it's hard, but when you have to tell me about these things, you don't hide things from the people you love ever." And then, after he says that, you can hear Rapunzel's mom's voice saying, "Rapunzel, honey," and then Eugene freaks out, going, "Hide your hair, woman! You gotta hide your hair."
Yeah. So,
Alright,
Tio, are we close
Yes,
to
sir?
getting somewhere with the plot in this area?
Yeah, we're actually close to the what's the name? The
ending?
pressure. No, sadly, no, we're not even halfway through.
Also, I gotta
Yes,
say, another issue with this game...
Dweebs, this pain you're feeling, I felt it every single second of playing
You
this
know,
game.
another issue
When
with
everything you know has
Did you play this game when it came
gone.
out originally?
this... You had to know
No,
this.
only for the remaster, but the HD collection. But to be fair, Dweebs, it was included in the package, so yeah.
Anyway,
This is an illusion. Open up your eyes.
anyway,
This pain.
I'll swing it with you guys later. I just have another thing to point about
ahead.
this game, though. An issue with this game is, you know, the area and environment on both a conceptual and gameplay level. For one thing, conceptually wise, some of these structures don't make any logical sense, and even for a video game. Like, seriously, some of them seem to just be floating things literally there for you to climb up on with no rhyme or reason. Others are plants that by no reason should be able to stick up long enough. I mean, and I don't mean that, oh, well, they're magic, so that's a cop-out. I mean, no. They don't even look like they're really going the proper direction. And gameplay-wise, the bushes. The bushes on those trees can clearly screw with your view. I'm not gonna say that the game before this was perfect, but the game before this kind of went out of its way to make sure that your view was more often than not
Not
well
just that, Joe,
kept.
this should be an improvement considering everything.
And yet
it's
it's a
not.
downgrade.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway,
then.
that's all for this part. In the next one, finally, we should be able to activate that fucking lever.
Great.
Finally.
All right, see ya.
See ya.